What's next in the gun control debate? Welcome to the Spectrum. I'm Mike Jackson. Colleen has the day off. 1 week ago, from Washington, D.C. to here in Ohio, we watched as millions took place in the March for Our Lives protest. Their common goal was to push for stronger regulations on firearms. This week, Congresswoman Beatty took steps to address the outcry of the public.
The most patriotic thing you can do is what we're doing today.
Hundreds of thousands marching in Washington, thousands more on the streets in Central Ohio. In total, millions of students and activists across the nation rallied last week, pushing for lawmakers to take action on the alarming rate of mass shootings in the United States. One Ohio lawmaker, Congresswoman Beatty, was among the many in the crowd.
You're out here because I heard it loud and clear. We want gun control. We are marching for our lives today. Enough is enough.
I was there because I was inspired by so many of the young people who are speaking out and demanding Congress and adults and elected officials across this nation to come up with some type of common sense gun laws. And when you think about their generation being a generation of dodging bullets, being a generation of being afraid to go to school because something might happen to them. We think of Columbine, we think of Sandy Hook, we think of Parkland. How could I not be out there as a community advocate and servant?
That inspiration led to action. On Monday, Beatty submitted House Resolution 5410. The bill aims to improve public safety through what she calls sensible reforms to firearms regulations. She calls the bill the Safer Now Act.
Safer America for everyone right now, because we need to do this right now, and certainly we need a safer America.
Her proposal addresses several items that have appeal from both Democrats and Republicans in Congress, including measures to keep weapons out of the hands of stalkers and domestic abusers, and banning bump stock devices.
We already have the White House looking at it. We have many Republicans looking at it. Many of the things in my bill, people are looking at. So the question I think that I want to ask them in America, why only do one? So if you have a third of the Congress looking at, they want to make sure that we have background checks. If you have another third saying we want to look at not being able to put bumper stocks on an AR-15 or not being able to have a child buy it, why only do one of those things? Why not do a comprehensive bill? And I think that's what makes the difference.
Other items in the bill, like closing the gun show loophole, banning high-capacity ammunition, and spending more federal grants on gun buyback programs. They're not top priority for many of her GOP counterparts, but Beatty thinks her bill can still spark meaningful change.
I believe in the Second Amendment. I think it's okay for responsible adults to have guns. But what I don't think we should be allowing, and I don't think the forefathers of our Second Amendment was thinking about high-capacity ammunition and assault weapons. I don't think that was the real intention of the Second Amendment.
The Congresswoman believes each measure in her bill addresses those who should not be using firearms and says her measures will not affect legal or law-abiding gun owners.
Now, some will say there's no hope of getting a bill passed. I don't necessarily believe that.
Passing any kind of legislation dealing with gun control be an uphill battle, as more than 100 bills addressing firearms have been submitted to Congress this session. But the end goal, Beatty says, is taking any step forward to avoid another tragic shooting.
And if I would get any one of these things out of this Congress, I will believe that I will have helped save lives.
Now, in just a few minutes, we'll continue the firearm control discussion and also take a look at what city officials here in Columbus